Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new video. And on today's plan, we're here with Maker, strong and healthy at 267. Today, what we're going to be doing mostly is just going to be a bit of dailies. We're going to be chatting a little bit regarding our last star forcing event. And not only that, a lot of news coming with the new patch notes for KMS. And again, we're going to be getting most likely the same thing, but let me share a bit of my thoughts. I'm not going to be the best at really knowing all the little details here and there. I'm mostly going to lean towards you guys, but nevertheless, I still want to share a little bit of my thoughts, what I think is going to happen, as well as what I would like Nexon to do for GMS. Actually, as you guys already probably know by now, there's going to be a brand new 30 star forcing cap, let's call it for now. So they introduced 30 star forcing, a lot of changes, such as it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You can protect your star forcing from 17 to 18 star force as well. But the thing that I'm really worried about is how the destruction percentage has increased by, I'd say, quite significantly. If you are star facing right now and you think that booming your equips is, it happens a lot, well, I also think that's the case, right? They say it's 2% or 3%, 4% destruction, but it feels like it's a little bit more than that. Let's be honest. Now, it's going to be sitting at what, 17, 18, 20% destruction at the same current level. Let's say it's 17, 18, 19 to 22 stars. Now, I don't really like that. I mean, we all know by now, Nexon is I'm not gonna say a greedy company, but the way that they are really hooking us up, the players, the loyal players that have been playing for years and years, and new players alongside returning players. I mean, it's not, how can I pitch this for you guys? I don't like it, right? It's smart. It is definitely very smart. But it's very annoying as well. For you to, work months and months to get your pitch set, to not only star forcing to 17 stars, thinking that, I got it there, but little that you need to push it to 22 stars. Now, a little bit of a side note with my last star forcing video. First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for the love and appreciation, you guys, the comments, the tips and tricks. It's been great. It's been a pretty good learning curves, as well as what I should do and what I should not do in the future. And Chagastu is definitely going to be the guinea pig, as he's my main character, he's my main, and he's gonna have to go through a lot to achieve that power. But then again, coming back to the topic of star forcing, it's like, if you're collecting your pitch sets and you're not even able to push it to 22 and it booms right away with that little percentage that you have, 3-4%, now you're looking at what, 17-ish percentage of destruction. Now the question that a lot of people are wondering is, are you going to have to step back all the way to 12 stars when your item does boom? If that is the case, I personally think the worst events, or let's say patch notes, that I've seen in the time I've been playing now. So that would be a big L. I don't think, I kind of optimistic thinking that MapleStory will not do that 12-star booming thing. If it's able to be back to, let's say 17, or even so, stay at the same star force. But I don't think that's gonna happen at all. It's gonna be too, it'll be too easy, right? Nexon, MapleStory, we've all known this for now, is not an easy game. It definitely looks like an easy game, an easy MMO, but it's not. You need to grind, you need to put the hours in. Somehow, even though it took us ages to train back in the days to get any percentage in your characters, now it's kind of the same thing for leveling up to when you're hit 260 plus. But not only that, they made it double that, and what I mean by double that is the gear progression, right? Your items are booming. So I don't know, I need to wait. We need to wait. We all need to stay patient, see what Inkwell is about to do, and I really feel a lot of pressure, you know, for Inkwell. Poor little guy. He's going to have to really bring out the best of the patches, the best notes, the best update. He basically needs to cook. Even better than KMS, I hope so. And who knows, maybe like 6 to 8 months from now, by the time we get that update, maybe KMS will do a lot of different little, you know, fixes or updates, maybe reverting some stuff or putting out some new stuff as well. That will probably give Inkwell a little bit of, you know, ideas for us to have a better patch notes than that one. Because look, I already hate star forcing as it is. I hate it with all of my heart. I just can't deal with that stress. I can't deal with, you know, thinking about booming our items. And not only that, I don't even know, well, I know a little bit better now for sure from you guys' tips and tricks. I need to master star forcing so that I don't do any other mistakes. Now, a little bit more about the notes. There will be new Sunny Sundays as well, which will include 30% less destruction when you're star forcing at higher levels. So that's going to be huge. That will definitely be huge, especially if you're pushing 21, 22, since those are the high destruction rates, which again, like, I don't know how to put this in other words than the whole star forcing scrolling is such a mess. And in one way, I mean, you know, I was thinking about saying that maybe back in the days we had a better scrolling option, 30%, 70%, 90% scrolls. Those were nice, they were easy. I don't think there was any chance of destruction, if I'm, you know, remembering correctly here. It's still the same. Honestly, I don't think there's any difference. The percentage are still really bad. A 2% destruction rate feels like almost a 40% destruction rate. Can't wait to see what 17 does to our gear, man. Like, I'm obviously not one of the best here. I'm way far away from that. So I'll leave your guys to share your knowledge in the comments down below. I want to know more. What potentially you guys can do as well is put some ideas, maybe different ideas that Nexon could probably take along and maybe do. I don't know, maybe. But now moving on with the other side of this whole star forcing thing is how the gears might be changed. And what I mean by that is I've seen and heard people say that they might be reverting to a full-on CRA 25 plus stars. We still have CRA gear, as you guys can see. We're rocking these guys. They're not highly star force quite yet. Let's say 20 stars with Remaker. You know, that's something we're going to be pushing to 22 eventually. And now people are saying that having the Eternal set being such a rare, I don't even know how to get them. I'm going to be purely honest here. I don't even know how to get those Eternal gear sets. I don't even have my Genesis weapon. I didn't even start the journey. And talking about the Genesis weapon, there's also the Genesis. Is it Genesis? I think it's Destiny. I think it's called Destiny weapon, which is transforming your Genesis weapon into a godly, holy, I don't know, the next level weapon in the game. And imagine taking 8 to 10 months for that Genesis weapon and then having to transform it into a Destiny weapon, which I don't know how it's gonna be. But let's say you get your Genesis weapon into a Destiny weapon. You start star forcing that guy, and for some reason it booms, right? If it booms, I don't know if it's that's the way, right? Maybe it's just a click of a scroll and then it becomes a Destiny weapon, which your Genesis is already sitting at 22, let's say. If that's the case, easy peasy. But if you're wanting to push it to 25, 26, heck, try 30 star force and it booms, how are you going to spend another 8 months to get another Genesis weapon? Is that how it is? And if that's the case, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of questioning, obviously. There's a lot of things that I do not know at all. So I do apologize if I'm talking out of the blue here, but it still doesn't change the fact that the star forcing, I mean, look, it's not great, right? It is definitely not great. And I don't know what to say other than let's just pray and hope for Inkwell to really do a great job here. He's been kind of missing in action right now, so we'll just wait, we'll patiently wait, and we'll see how everything goes. But now, on the brighter side of things, there's been a few bossing changes, I feel like. So Damien being a little bit, I think a little bit easier, less probability of sticking up in the air, so you don't get to attack him for a while. I think Lotus also has been nerfed a tad little bit so that you don't have to really just play a jumping game at that point, because you're jumping left and right trying to escape all the attacks. So that's another dub, I feel like, in my opinion. But again, we're just going back and forth with KMS and GMS, which brings the topic of wanting GMS to be its own thing, right? So I don't know, I'm just mumbling here. I hope you guys are not being bored with my talking. I just want to kind of vent a little bit, and venting on star forcing, I mean, it can bring this evil side of people sometimes, I feel like. I mean, I purely hate it. I just can't deal with star forcing. It's so expensive as well. And talk about expensive, I totally forgot about this one. It's going to be more expensive to star force, right? So let's think about this once again, right? If we conclude this video in some way, shape, and form, star forcing is going to be more expensive. So that's one L. Star forcing will have a higher chance of destruction. That's another negative. Safeguarding star forcing now is going to be 200% more expensive, right? So from 100 to 200. So twice the original amount. And lastly, we don't even know what happens when it booms. Does it go back to 12? Does it go back to 15? Like, there's too many L's. The only positive thing is that you're gonna get a compensation for your star forcing. If it's already sitting at, say, 23, it's gonna go up to 25, which generally I don't think anyone even has a 23 star force. I mean, probably some OGs there or some grinders, but other than that, I don't know, man. It's just really bad. But here's to hoping to a brand new year of MapleStory, hoping it's gonna be good, hoping Inkwell is gonna serve properly. All right, enough talking about the events, the patch notes, and everything negative with star forcing. I mean, one last thing I want to say is Bremaker is sitting quite strong on his gears, his levels, his CP. Although I've been missing a little bit of upgrading with him, right? We recently did get our Arcan gear, which finally took us ages to get that weapon. But I do have a few plans. We stopped bossing with him. I think we did a hard Lotus run, we did a hard Damien run for the first time as well. We barely finished a hard Lucid, so that's another dub. But the next step with Bremaker is definitely going to be a little bit of upgrading. We are going to upgrade our gear sets. We're sitting on a lot of 20-star item, and this cubing also could be a tad little bit better. If I quickly check here, we do have a solid emblem sitting at 2% attack, but we do have a 9% dex. So stuff like that. I don't want to show too much of the gears at the moment, but we do need to do a bit of cubing. We do need to do a bit of star forcing. Most importantly, our matrix. Our matrix are not looking that great. Our hexa matrix as well is in the kind of a tough spot situation right now. It's a little bit difficult to mingle two characters at the same time, so the upgrades are a little bit slower than usual, but we're gonna get there. You know, it's not a race, it's gonna be a marathon with the hero. And again, just like I mentioned earlier, Chagesu being the guinea pig, Bremaker is definitely being treated well, much better than Chaga, poor little guy there. And some of you are expecting to see a little bit more bossing, right? So again, I will promise you guys, I will come back with Bree. I just wanted to do a little bit of a chat video this time around. Less bossing, less upgrading, mostly just sharing some thoughts and chatting a little bit. Once again, I really want to know your guys' thoughts. I do have a Discord channel as well. If you're new to the channel, you can join the Discord. And I want to know, you guys, what do you think about this whole news? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What are the things you want for Inkwell to do? And if you guys did enjoy this one, as usual, give it a thumbs up, do subscribe, share with some friends, and as always, this has been Noori. Spread your peace and love, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.